get up and get. There we go. Come on, big fella, you can do it. Get spinning. Hey, Douglas Peacock here. Welcome to today's live, and today I want to look at and share with you, because I'm getting quite a few questions of people asking and wanting to create moving forward, as lockdown begins to start and loosens its grip, and people are wanting to get back into work and getting back into life, and they want to manifest and start moving forward and creating all the goodness in their life. And they go about going, well, how am I going to get a job? What am I going to do? And some of the stuff comes from is fear-based. So I want to share with you some of the steps on getting your creating juices flowing so that you can actually manifest that which you are. Now, the first thing that we need to recognize is when we look at creating anything in our life, anything in the world, it starts from the intangible. It starts from the energy field of consciousness. Now, most people, when they think, oh, I want to create a job, or I want a new client, so they think they have to go and hustle and go out there and do all the action steps. Yes, that's a stage, but it's not the first stage. The first stage that we look at is when you think about it, for anything that you've created in your life or anything that you've wanted in your life, where did it start for you? And if you've got if you're there, think about it there and just jot down, what do you think it was for you? Where did it start for you to create what you wanted? Hey, Linda. And one of the things that we look at is, well, geez, how did I create that? What was it that caused me to be able to create it? Just go ahead there and think about it, and then if you can jot it down, what you think it is, and we'll take it from there. One of the things, and for those that don't know me, hey, my name's Douglas Peacock. I'm an intuitive healer and a mindset coach that helps people create and change their life to get the change that they're actually after. So I work with people. I've got two main parts where I work with people. One's illness, helping them transcend their bodies back out of illness and back into perfect health. And then the other section is helping people change their lives to live from a place of peace and knowingness inside themselves. So that's basically who I am and what I do. And I've been doing this for over 20-something years now, where I'm able to see where the energy is in your field, or what's going on, where you may be holding yourself back. So one of the things that we look at is, a lot of people, when when they look at where they're going or how they create things, they go, oh, well, I need to go and look for a job. And so they think they need to go out first. But when we break it down and we come back to the beginning, everything starts as energy. The idea of what's happening or coming through you, the idea comes from source. It comes from consciousness. And as the idea comes in, it is still energy. It is energy in your field, and you are thinking about it. So the first step is energy. So when you get an idea that, oh, gee, I've got to go get a job, or I need to go and do X, Y, Z. It is the inspiration coming from energy that begins to open it up. And Tony, what did you write there? For me, it's a bubble of, I would desire that, but desire is for the want of a better word. It's more something that comes from my soul that is like the bubble that comes from within. Perfect. That's exactly what it is. And it's that bubbles. I like bubbles. Bubbles. You allow the energy to come to you. And the thing that we recognize and what we do with it up front is we look at the inspiration or the thought, and it comes into your consciousness. And it's the ability to be quiet enough to hear it. And when you get that energy or that thought form comes with it, you'll notice there's a feeling that comes with it. It'll tend to be like an uplifting feeling or a feeling of, wow, I could do this. And that's before old monkey mind gets in there. So the first 2 steps are energy. You get the thought, the information comes in, the idea comes in from consciousness. The second step can be a feeling. So again, it's still consciousness, it's still energy. The third step is you start thinking to yourself about how it goes, and then you may share it with someone. So you talk it out. So it's still in the consciousness of energy, but it is now beginning to make a change where you are beginning to share it. So you're giving it more consciousness, which is beginning to make bringing it into the tangible world. And it is not until you have done the first 3 steps that you will then begin to start doing tangible actions. And then the tangible action is the energy that comes in, or the idea that comes in. You have the opportunity to do an action step. And it is in doing the action step, the energy for the action step, for you to get this idea or start creating this into fruition, into coming into manifestation, is the energy comes from the idea. You do not need to use your energy to try and make it happen. The idea has its own energy. And so long as you tune into it and step into it when it's there with you and it gets building on you, you'll find that it pushes you along and you're able to start the creation. Now, one of the biggest keys that most people overlook here is that they do it all from the head. Yet when you look at the idea that comes to you, and then you start moving with it, and you've thought about it, you've then talked about it, then you start doing the physical action step. The importance here is where you do the action step from. If you do it from your head and just your thought form, you're going to get a certain result. Yet the key for helping the creation to come into place is to move into the feeling tone of the desired result. And a way of doing that, it is not a want. You see yourself and you go into the gratitude and the feeling tone of having already achieved it. When you sit in this feeling tone, there is a knowingness inside of you that it has already happened. When you move into this knowingness, you are able to take the steps moving forward in confidence and peace, because you know you can make it happen. The tricky part here is old bugger-lugs. The old mind is going to kick in, and you're going to start running into your programming from your past. And your programming from your past results and how things have been will start trying to kick it in and disarm and dismantle where you are and what you're trying to create. So the teaching that you look at is, like I said to you yesterday, for those that looked at were there on the emotions and the mental strength, building that muscle, you step into the light, you step into the stillness of who you are, and you stay in the feeling tone of it there, and then you watch the garbage that's going on over here. And you keep coming back to that feeling tone of knowingness. Now, people go, oh, yeah, I've got to take the action steps and go out and do things. Yes, you do. But when you go out and do them, you are wise. It's not a must, it's a wise if you do it from a certain feeling tone. Because how come you can have 2 salespeople selling exactly the same product and got all the same information, same type of clients, same things, yet one salesperson does really well and the other one doesn't? What's the difference? They've got everything else is the same. And the difference is the feeling tone, or the knowingness and the gratitude and the creation of with inside of themselves, that they know they are that which they choose to be. And your goal will take you, it's not so much the goal that you want, it's who you want to become by achieving that goal. And if you look at a lot of the goals that you've won, that you've got, if you look at a car that you've bought, you had a goal or a desire to buy a car. once you've got the car, after a few weeks, it's just a car. But it's who you've become to manifest that into your reality. And that's what it's all about. It's about the growth and the evolution of manifesting everything into our reality. And as we do that, we become the magnet. It's like when you are wanting more, say you're wanting a job, or you're wanting more clients, or you're wanting a better relationship or a better health. When you are resonating at the vibration of the frequency of your desire, and you resonate at that, you draw it to you. And I'd like you to think about a lot of parts of your life. Where have you been in your life, and opportunities have just seemed to fall in your lap? Wow, where did this come from? And someone rings you out of the blue and goes, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Man, oh, cool. How did that happen? But you were sitting into the vibration of the frequency, and you were being the magnet. You had sent out the signal. The universe had come and given you the idea. The source had given you the idea. You'd thought about it. You'd looked at all the different ways, and you said, yeah, I want to do this. You'd connected. You want to do this. So you send out to the universe the electrical signal, and then you're sitting in the feeling tone of your heart of being the frequency of that which it is. And so any little anything to do with that that's moving past gets drawn into your orbit, into your field, and then it begins to start manifesting in the physical realm. And when we understand this at a great depth, we recognize there is no struggle, we just are. And the more that we do this, we really begin to live a life of peace and gratitude, and you're just in pure amazement on what you're able to create. So that the step here for you is to remember the first 3 steps are always energetic, and they're always in the non-tangible. They're always out in the vibration. They're always out in the energy. And then we move into taking the physical actions and making things happen. So again, the importance of the feeling tone, of the knowingness inside of yourself. And a good way to test yourself if you have knowingness is, are you patient? Or do you start getting ratty and start getting, oh, geez, I've got to make this happen, and you start getting edgy and you start getting grabby? That shows you that you're not in the feeling tone of knowingness. Because when we're in the energy of knowingness, we are patient. We become very patient because we know we already have it. And it is just unraveling. And what all that's happening in the unraveling is we're getting all of our obstacles where we do not know ourselves as that end result, goal, desire. And that's just all getting out of the way, and allowing the thing to manifest into the fullest of its potential. When we can move into that peaceful state of that happening naturally, life becomes very simple. Okay, guys, so there's a little bit there for you. It was just something that was coming up with a lot of people that I'm talking to, and so I thought I'd share it to you to help you to be able to create that which you desire as you move forward. And one of the things there for you to look at as, if you're needing to get a new job, or you're, wanting to get, how do you go through your health and what's going on with the virus, or the story that you're being fed is, well, hold on, I create my reality. I do not need to live in that fear and that garbage. I create this. I desire this. And the last thing I'll leave you with is, in my meditation, I was shown that when you are living in this, it's like you're going to be move into a frequency where that negative energy cannot touch you because it cannot see you. And this is the real cool thing. And I will talk more about that over the next few days as I get more information on how to help people move into that higher vibration of moving out of that fear and anxiety and things like that. But there's a vibration and a frequency that's coming through. And this has just been shown to me last night. So I've got the first little piece. And again, like what I said, to bring this into manifestation, I've got to do the first step. So I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the idea, I'm working with the energy, and then it's beginning to open up. And as it does, I will share it, and then you will be able to use the teachings as well. So blessings, have an awesome Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.